Hello all sentient beings and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of Transmissions, we are joined by Epyk as we talk about the recently revealed Transformers Generations Selects G2 Ramjet. Vintage Beast Wars are coming to Walmart, and Takara reveals a Commander Class Rodimus Prime. Today is Wednesday, March 17th, 2021, and this is episode 425 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that's now 50% vaccinated. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hello, and my arm hurts.
The extraordinary Epyk.
Hello.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
I'm happy that you're okay with talking about you getting your STD vaccinations. It's very cool of you. I mean, most people wouldn't want the public to know about your little issue, but I'm proud of you, Charles. Big steps. You too, Jeremy.
You get vaccines before you get infected. You don't get them after you get infected.
I don't know how you guys do it in your backwards country over there, but this is, I assumed you guys were just like, everything happens after the fact, so preventative measures after you've already got it. Anyway, let's talk Transformers, unless you've already done it.
Well, I don't have anything to say to that.
You broke them.
I don't have a comeback. Oh, well. Anyway, we start off the show like we always do by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal and help keep the show going. You guys are awesome. You keep things rolling here at Transmissions. And we got to give a shout out to our longtime duly appointed supporter of the Transmissions podcast, Tom Proscia. He has been giving to us for many years, and now he has decided to switch from PayPal to Patreon. So he's got an annual subscription on Patreon now. So thanks, Tom.
Yes, awesome.
Right on, Tom.
We've got you for another year at least. So, Tom, you're the best. He was our correspondent at Toy Fair one year.
New York Comic Con.
Oh, New York Comic Con, right?
Yeah, I met him at New York Comic Con last year, the last New York Comic Con ever, and we got a picture in front of Unicron.
Cool.
Awesome.
Right on, Tom.
All right. This week we have Empire of Rust episode 45, St. Patrick's Wing. So this came out this Monday, March 15th, so it should already be in your feed. If you are not subscribed to the main Transmissions feed, you can go to transmissionspodcast.com/rust, and that's where you can get all the Empire of Rust podcasts, the first and only Transformers live play RPG podcast. So check that out. And Jeremy is still on America's Next Top Podcaster. He survived the first week.
Woohoo.
Yes, I did.
Good
How's
job.
it going?
My team didn't win the week, but we didn't lose the week. We were perfectly average. So I'll take it.
Jeff didn't snuff your torch.
I have no idea what that means.
Survivor.
Oh, the Survivor. Yeah, I don't watch it.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was fun. We'll have a link in the show notes to like my team's submission and then the judging episode. And also the profiles are finally on the website, so you can see like everyone that's in the show. I am there plugging us with my coffee mug. So it's really cool. Check that out. And then week 2 was an investigation challenge. We had to do kind of a NPR style investigation podcast. So I'll have that link next week.
Cool. We're pulling for you, Jeremy. Keep going. All right. Well, let's get into our toy topics.
All right, and this week we're starting off with, I think it's the coolest, exclusive that we probably will see this year, and I don't even know what else is coming. This is newly released exclusive from Generation Selects, and it's available for pre-order on all of the available places, most likely Hasbro Pulse and EB Games here in Canada, but this is G2 Ramjet. And you got all the crazy G2 colors, the purple, the teal, and the black. He looks amazing. And when they did the G2 Sandstorm, the unreleased one, and it was essentially the same mold, you had to know that this one was coming. So I'm really excited for this one. I think this is one of the coolest, color palettes they've put on a jet. I'm all in for this. So yeah, I'm good for this one. Anybody else? Charles?
I'm good. I've got thrust. I don't need multiple seekers. This is a very cool color. The color scheme is awesome, but that's okay.
All right.
Enjoy, Daryl.
Multiple
Jeremy.
seekers is the point of seekers.
Exactly. Seekers, the word is plural.
I've got thrust and Starscream.
All right. Well, Jeremy, Charles doesn't care. He is above G2. It wasn't his thing. But I know you're into G2. You got an affinity for it. What's your feeling here?
Yeah, I like G2. I agree. The color scheme is really very early 90s. It's fantastic. I have the Sandstorm mold, and that is a great mold. I also am in the process of buying a house, so I'm not sure if I would be able to get in on this. But I think anyone that missed out on Sandstorm definitely should get this.
If you amortize $29.99 over the course of 29 years or 25 years, it's really nothing. I mean, just work it into the mortgage, buddy. It's
there you go. Okay, yeah. I'll add it into my closing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Epyk, what do you got here? This is you have just recently bought a house, and it's already it's in the past. You don't even have to worry about anything anymore. It's all good, so you can get back to buying fun, cool ass figures. What do you think?
You know
here?
it. Yeah, you gotta have a flock of seekers, Kay. You don't just get one or two. We gotta.
That was a great band in the 80s.
Yeah.
Gotta get them all. Gotta have all the cone heads. This is super sweet. I love the coloring. All that. All he's missing is some pink, and he'd be Epyk colors all day. Okay, I'm all about him. I'm gonna get him probably. I'm sure.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah. Right on. This thing's awesome, and yeah, like I said, you can get him definitely at Hasbro Pulse. He's pre-orderable right now, and EB Games here in Canada put up a pre-order link as well. So go out and search him out and get yourself a G2 Ramjet if you're looking for him. My next topic is Mechanics Studios MS-27 Poison, and it's their Legends Scale G1 Octane. And these guys, Mechanics Studio, have been doing a lot more of their own designs. We've talked about this every single time that they bring something out, that they used to rip off designs and shrink them down, and they've moved away from that now. This is their own design. They've come up with a G1 Octane design in Legend Scale. It's a full-on triple changer. I mean, even Hasbro hasn't been able to say that completely 100% in recent years. So I'm very impressed with the fact that they've got this thing able to transform in all three modes. It's even able to pull off that weird fourth mode as well from that time, the Ghost of Starscream episode, where Starscream scares the living shit out of him and kind of he half transforms into his, that time. So
Is that what's going on in that photo there?
It is, yeah.
I love it.
He just gets the shit scared out of him. So yeah, it's an interesting character. He definitely didn't see a lot of play in the G1 episodes, but he did get that. I think he got one or two episodes where he was heavily featured. So, but he's a great looking figure here. Epyk, what are your thoughts on this? I know that third party is still fairly new to you, but Legend Scale is definitely something that you aren't into yet.
Right. Yet being the key word, right? Because this guy's really cool. I think all of his transformations are pretty good. The plane got going on is a bit bulky, but what are you going to do? I think they did a really good job with him. And I love the mid-transformed version of himself. That cracks me up. I'd want to just leave him like that because it's funny. But I do. I think he's really cool. I really like how he's looking. But like you said, I'm not a Legends gal yet, but maybe this will be the start of it. Who knows?
All right. And Jeremy, I know that you're buying a house, Every time I ask you if you're buying something, you always just tell me you're buying a house. But what are your thoughts on poison here? Do you take the poison pill?
I don't. I prefer it as a shot.
Oh, okay.
But no, I think this is really cool. I like, they did a good job. I know in Legend Scale it's really hard to hide a lot of the parts, but they did a good job of hiding the truck mode in the plane and the plane mode in the truck. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, in the plane, you can kind of see at the back end of the plane, the wheels and stuff.
Yeah.
But on the truck mode, it did a really good job of hiding the plane. I think this is great. Octane is a character we've seen every so often in the last few years, but I don't think he's ever really been super popular. But it'll be interesting to see how they do with this. Mm-hmm. Now, I love how they used an official Decepticon flight stand, but they had to blur out the logo.
Yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, this thing, it looks really good. G1, square, blocky.
Right on. And Charles, if I remember correctly, last time we were at a convention together, I scared the shit out of you, and you halfway turned into something else. I can't remember what it was, but it scared me. What are your thoughts on poison here?
That bot is poison. No?
Oh.
Okay, never mind. It looks good. I had G1 Octane as a kid, and he was a brick, and the back of the tanker truck was a piece that had to come off because they couldn't figure out how to make the tanker truck, look nice when and also transform into the other two modes. So I appreciate that they've done a much better engineering job with this Octane. And yeah, I'm a fan of the Legends scaled figures, so it's nice. It's very articulated. I guess is that an alternate head it comes with to do that funky mid mode transformation?
It looks like
the
it.
Screaming head.
It looks like they're really leaning into that one cell, that one animation cell.
They used the head in the second image too, the same head.
Oh yeah, I see. You're right. Yeah, well, I mean that's a nice bonus. Come with two heads in addition to being a triple changer. It's a good figure. It's a good looking figure. Octane was always the kind of the little brother triple changer. He always got overlooked from Astro Train and Blitzwing. So it's nice to see him getting a little bit of love.
Right on. Well, that's all I had to talk about today. But Jeremy, what do you got?
Well, I've got some more G1 reissues through Walmart through their Collector Con. These went live Monday the 15th at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure if they're going to announce more, but what we know now is they have released 4 G1 Beast War figures.
I love that that's sticking. I love it.
Yeah, it's in their retro G1 line. It's you get the original packaging complete. It looks like you get with the Kenner logo on it. That's really cool. Mm-hmm. They're releasing Optimus Primal, Megatron, Cheetor, and Rat Trap. And these are completely based on the original 90s molds. They look fantastic. The only one of these I've ever had is the Universe recolor of Optimus Primal. So I'm looking forward to getting some of these. If I had to get one, it'd probably be Megatron. Like I said, I haven't had hands-on with really any of these other than Primal, but Primal is a great figure. And I just, even if they are kind of shell formers, I know Rat Trap looks like one. It's still cool to have G1 Beast War. Epyk, I know you're probably not I don't know how much exposure you have to Beast Wars, but what do you think of these things?
Fun fact, I have taken upon myself to start watching Beast Wars, so I am gaining knowledge.
You are now ahead of Daryl.
I am now gaining knowledge, and I can tell you right now, I do not care for Rat Trap. I've never despised the character more. He's so annoying, but these figures,
for booting up cold.
I don't have a nostalgia for these, right? So, like, I've been doing the Kingdom line because I didn't think I was gonna, but then you see them and you're like, well, I gotta. So, since I don't have the nostalgia, I just don't... They're, like, coming out with sweet, modern versions of the figures that transform way better and look way better that I don't really know why I would want to get the older versions, unless it has to just be purely the nostalgia, I guess, right? That's what
it is.
Yeah.
It's the, like, when the people that grew up with G1 got to a point where they were making money, and now they could afford the reissue, like, they could reissue them and make money off of that. And now they're doing the same with Beast Wars.
Yeah, it's just...
In a few years, it'll be Armada.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess they're going with this Beast Wars line all in, right? So it makes sense while everyone's all hyped with the Kingdom. Why not do this throwback line? And it works out perfectly. I mean, I think it's neat. Me personally, since I don't have nostalgia, I'm just get the Kingdom line ones and be done. And return Rat Trap.
He'll grow on you by the end of this.
Okay.
series.
I'm going to hold you to that.
No, we won't.
You haven't seen it.
You don't know anything, Daryl.
Seen enough.
Well, Daryl, I know you have these figures, the originals, at least a few of them. What do you think? Do you think $20 is good for Cheetor and Rat Trap and $40 for Primal and Megatron? Do you think that's a good price?
Well, okay, so you're right. I have all these figures from the original releases of them. They're gonna charge you $20 for Rat Trap?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Here.
That's too much. He's tiny. Like, he's a tiny little fucking figure. Cheetor, sure, he's a deluxe class figure, before there was deluxe class. But Rat Trap is tiny. He'd be core class if I wanted to kind of compare it to something.
Well, I mean, yeah, the Kingdom one is extremely tiny.
Yeah, but I mean, they're overcharging you for core class at this stage. The other guys, I mean, Primal and Megatron are huge. So at $50, sure, you're getting, or I guess
40.
Yeah, $40. You're getting a deal at $40 a piece. I'd probably even suggest they go to 50 for at least Megatron.
Well, since you're getting a deal on it, they thought they'd just hike the price up on Rat Trap.
I guess. The concern I have, though, is the plastic they used back in 96 is different than what they use now. And the stuff that they used back in 96 just seems tougher and heavier compared to the stuff that, I find on new toys. So if I pick up my original Beast Wars Megatron and I hold it with, even some of the newer just generation stuff, the plastic feels flimsier, that it's easier to break. Beast Wars Megatron...
The new stuff does.
The new stuff does, yeah. So the Beast Wars Megatron is a tough figure. Like, it's really built very well. And I just have this, I don't know, worry that people are going to buy these figures thinking they're getting the same thing they got back in 96, and they're going to play with it and use it and pose it and stuff, and it's just going to start shredding plastic because the new stuff just can't handle the joints that they used back in the mid-90s.
Mm-hmm.
That's happened with previous re-releases too. Remember when we talked about, I think it was the G1 Insecticons, when they got re-released in their 3-pack, people were complaining that you could see through the plastic. It was so thin, but the originals were good. They were hefty duty. I don't know. That's the concern I have over these. Re-release them all you want. They were great toys. Even the Cheetor and the Rat Trap, shelf formers as they may be, Rat Trap was a fun little figure. He came with a gun that you instantly lost. And Cheetor had a water gun in him. So does Megatron, right? So, I mean, they're fun. They had great play value. I have a feeling that people are it's not going to stand up to the rigors of the new plastic, the way that it's just thin and kind of shitty. So,
yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, I'll make sure to get some of these wrapped up in my mortgage too.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, now's the time. I mean, buy a whole bunch, buy some expensive stuff, go for like $100 figure. It will.
I'll get an aftermarket Unicron.
That's crazy. But
well, that's what my stimulus check is going to go for.
There you go.
Yeah. Charles, what are your thoughts on these guys?
Yeah, if you're a fan of Beast Wars, I think these are good pickups, but I kind of agree with Epyk that I would probably lean towards the modern Kingdom figures. That they better represent the animation models. They are probably more articulated.
Yeah, they should have led with the throwback line first. Got everyone to get those, and then put out the Kingdom, and then everyone be like, "Oh."
That's a good point.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, just like G1, these are pretty purely for nostalgia factor. So if you are in the Beast Wars age range, like, grew up with Beast Wars as a kid, and you're an adult now and have the money, you probably want to pick these up. So I'd say go for it and enjoy reliving your childhood, just like we did.
Well, and this is the 25th anniversary of Beast Wars, so that's also why they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Say it's the 20th anniversary of RID 2001. Let's get, that Optimus Prime and the Autobot Brothers re-released. Those are all great. But that's all I have here. If they announce something between when we record this on Sunday and when it comes out on Wednesday, we might record a little bit extra to add into the show, but I think this might be all they're having. So hopefully people can get in and pre-order it, because Walmart's pre-order system kind of sucks. That is all I got. So Epyk, what do you have this week?
All right. I'm sure y'all expect me to talk about the 10-inch Optimus Prime pop figure, but I'm going to switch it up this week and talk about I'm going to butcher this, the Metal Beast 2 Cold Dragon. It's the Robots in Disguise Cryotech color palette of the Transmetal 2 Megatron mold. They've decoed it to look like Cryotech. I don't know that much about it, but when I looked at this, I thought it looked sweet, and I do know about Transmetal Megatron, all that stuff. So keeping with the Beast theme we've got going on, Daryl, is this something that you think is sweet? Because you should, because look at it.
It's pretty sweet, yeah. This is a recoloring of their original one. I think it was like Heat Death or something like that. I don't even remember what they called it, or just
Just the Transmetal 2, yeah. Yep.
Just called Winged Dragon, yeah. And it's a really cool figure. And the Cryotech version is just an easy repaint. All they got to do is paint it a bunch of shades of blue and call it a day, right? So it's a really nice looking figure. I know that the original, what's the original version of this? The Hasbro, or I guess it would have been Kenner version of this, was harder to find, I guess, but this is pretty sweet. I like it. It looks nice. And I probably won't get it just because I do try to limit my Beast third-party purchases. But this is a pretty cool looking figure for sure.
Yeah, totally. Jeremy, what about you? Are you for that Transmetal figures?
I've never actually had a Transmetal figure myself. I like the design. I enjoyed the first one when we saw it, the original colors, and blue is my favorite color, so I think this one looks infinitely better. I do like how on the original one, it went from like the lighter orangey color in the center of the wings to the darker, and then kind of reversed that where it's a darker blue in the center, goes down to a lighter. So this does look really good. I likely won't get it. Just I'm not huge in the third party, but I think it looks really good.
Totally. And Charles, what are your thoughts on this figure? You digging the blue?
Yeah, it's a good looking figure. I kind of prefer the red color, the original red color. But I mean it's definitely it looks good. I did have the Transmetal 2 Megatron, the original Beast Wars figure. I kind of inherited that from my brother, who was, he had them at the time, but, grew out of Transformers. So I inherited all his Beast Wars Transformers because he was a Beast Wars kid. But it's a fun figure. My kids played with that Transmetal 2 Megatron. They loved it. It's kind of beat up now because it's gone through like 2 generations of kids playing with it. But I still have it, and This is
See, they used to make toys to last.
But this is a nice update to this figure. Although I did look at I clicked through to Robot Kingdom to see the price, and yikes, $215 for this guy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It is a good figure, though.
But maybe not for that price tag.
Yeah.
Well, that was all I had. So, Charles, what's on your plate?
All right. Well, last week we talked about the upcoming Rodimus Prime, Commander Class Rodimus Prime. We had those leaked images, but even before the show went up, Takara put out official images of the Rodimus Prime Commander Class. So now we have a good look at this figure, robot mode and vehicle mode. It's a complete update of G1 Rodimus Prime, and I gotta say, it looks good. Like the robot mode looks good, the vehicle mode looks good, but I kind of just have mixed feelings about it because it's just Hot Rod. I mean, like it's Hot Rod with a trailer, and Rod. I don't know. I always feel like Rodimus Prime should be, I don't know, bigger than Hot Rod. I mean, but his robot mode is he turns just into the Hot Rod car.
Yeah, the robot mode is actually the same size as Optimus Prime from Earthrise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he's a Voyager with a trailer, and they've turned that into an $80 price point. So that's a little disappointing. I mean, we talked last week about, we were hoping to see something impressive for why they were going to justify this $80 price point, and I don't feel like it's justified. I mean,
he's got a trailer.
He does have a trailer, but Earthrise Optimus Prime has a trailer, and they only charge $50 for him. The trailer is terrible, but I don't know.
They didn't have to do that much work on Earthrise Optimus. They just retooled Siege Optimus.
Well, that's true. But I mean, they probably just retooled Studio Series Hot Rod for this Rodimus.
Well, I didn't ask for a rebuttal. I just wanted to point out.
But I do like I do like the accessories. I mean, he's got a gun. He's got the sword of Primus, which I didn't realize that this was in the Regeneration 1 comic. So I saw John Paul Bove was on Facebook. He mentioned he was excited to see that that Rodimus Prime gets the sword of Primus, which that was only a thing in the Regeneration 1 comics when Rodimus Prime made his feature in there. So that's cool. Congratulations to John Paul Bove and Simon Furman and Guido Guidi and all those guys who worked on Regeneration 1, getting a little love there. But and the the little Matrix effect, that's also cool. I think that's also the Studio Series Hot Rod also has that. So yeah, I mean, it does look, the robot mode does look really nice. Looks like Rodimus Prime. He looks, he's got the face has the aged look of Rodimus Prime, the mature
bags
look
under his eyes.
Yeah. This Rodimus Prime has seen some shit. Yeah, he's gone through some shit. But yeah, I just can't get over the fact that it's a hot rod with a trailer and they're charging $80. That kind of kills the whole deal for me. But Epyk, what do you think of this guy? Are you a fan of Rodimus Prime?
Yeah, Radimus Prime's pretty sweet and stuff. I actually have a knockoff Hot Rod figure. Okay, no, it's not Rodimus, but $80, like you're saying, for this size and everything, it's kind of like, well, is it actually worth $80? I mean, I already kind of have a Hot Rod figure, and I know it's not the same, but we all keep them in robot mode. Okay, but it's cool. It is cool. I really like how it looks. I think they did a pretty good job with making him look sweet, and I know it's just a trailer and all that, but yeah, I mean, he looks cool. I'll have to think about it. I'd be more likely to get this than the reissues of the Beast War figures.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see a side-by-side of this figure with Studio Series Hot Rod to see if how close they are.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, I don't know, if he's not that much different to me, it just wouldn't be worth getting. He'd have to be significantly different to make it worth it, even though they're technically different characters. But you know what I mean.
Jeremy, is this getting rolled into your mortgage?
It might. I hope it does have a lower price when we see it come over in the US, but it's not really impressing on the whole Commander class scale, but it does look like a nice looking figure, even though, it is disappointing in many ways. And I probably will get it just because it does look good, and it would look good next to my Pit of Judgment. I don't know. I'm a sucker, and I need more Rodimus figures in my life.
We're all suckers in one way or another. We're all Transformers collectors.
Yeah, I never got the Masterpiece, so here we go.
Yeah. All right, Daryl, are you going to be a sucker with the rest of us?
Likely. I'm going to try and either get it through working at the comic store or find it on sale somewhere. Hoping Toys R Us has sales all the time on Transformers, so hopefully I can find it that way, or I can find it at the comic shop and just get it with credit. But I mean, it's a good looking figure regardless of its price. I've seen complaints that the car aspect of the motorhome or Winnebago kind of sticks out a little too far. Yeah, I get that. It does. I don't personally care all that much. The robot mode looks fantastic. He looks really good in that. He's got all the bits to be a G1 for the G1 like battle station or the gun turret mode. It looks cool. It's an updated version of that, so I'm happy about that. The trailer seems to do a whole heck of a lot more than Optimus's trailer does. Am I happy about the price point? No, but like I said, there's ways around paying that full price point. But I mean, like, also, if you can't find it on sale, or you can't get it through other means, like like I do with working at a shop that has that kind of stuff, just don't buy it, right? Like, you don't tell Hasbro or Takara that you're not happy with what they're doing by continuously buying all their stuff. And I know that's weird coming from me who buys everything, but if you wait for the product to go to like a store like Ollie's or something like that, then it that's not the most desirable location for this figure. That's not where Hasbro wants it to sell. So if they go there, and I know that I've spoken on the opposite side of this argument before when it comes to Titan class figures, but that's because nobody buys the Titan class figures for full price. So that's the poor aspect of that, is that now they don't go to Ollie's anymore, and you guys are having a hard time finding them. Now that's why you're seeing them being reissued by Hasbro Pulse and stuff like that. Yeah, so if they flood the market with this Commander class figure and nobody frickin' buys it, then it'll end up at Ollie's and you'll get it at a discount. But yeah, it's patience. You'll have to wait on this one and be a little bit more patient. First month or first week of buying this thing is probably not the best fiscally responsible decision.
Daryl's words of wisdom.
You don't get a room full of toys by spending all your money.
Yeah, you might have the toys, but then you won't have a room.
Yeah, you spend other people's money.
You build a room out of the toys.
Yeah.
Out of the box.
So currently, we haven't heard anything from Hasbro yet about when this will come in North America, but according to the Amazon Japan listing, this is coming out in Japan August 1st. So I'd imagine sometime this fall for the US or North America release, probably. So and I'm sure Hasbro will announce it, whenever. I mean,
Comic-Con online.
Probably tomorrow, since we're recording tonight.
Probably. All right. So yeah, that is my toy topic, and that is it for our toy discussion. So we will move on to trips to the store. And this is where we show off all the amazing Transformers stuff we got this week. We do this as a video that you can see on YouTube, so you can see everything we got in beautiful high definition. But we'll put the audio right here in the podcast so you can keep listening as we describe everything we got in loving detail. So without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
All right, we've got to jump right into all the stuff we got. And I'm going to start it off with Daryl because he's got something really important to show off.
It's not that important.
What'd you get at Value Village?
I spent my week getting a baby.
Oh,
I did all
what does it
the
transform
work.
into?
Crushing debt. Yes. Yes, his name is Kyle, and he's 3 days old.
Aw.
So
Awesome.
Kyle, meet all the nerds. Nerds, meet Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
Now he's 6 days old when this goes up,
There you go. Yeah. So he's asleep,
which
and
means he'll be twice as big.
yeah. That's how it works. That's exponential growth. Yeah. So anyway, he's been fun, but it's not why you came here to see babies, stupid babies.
Yeah, get to what we care about.
I do have toys. Yeah. So
Just set them to the side.
I
Show us the
I do have toys. I got another Pretender. I had a Pretender last week. This is Pretender Bumblebee.
Nice.
Nice.
You're going to have to take my word for it that he's in there. But, yeah, he's in there, and he's 100% complete. I'm pretty happy about that. It's nice. I think I have all the Bumblebees now, except for the little decoy ones, or the one. But, yeah, I think I have all the G1 Bumblebees now. I do have another Studio Series 86 figure. This is the only other one I have. I don't have any of the others now. This is Jazz.
Nice.
And I'm pretty happy about having Jazz. He's a cool looking figure. He's a cool... I'm really looking forward to getting the Toy Hack sticker set for this guy, because I think it's going to look awesome on him. But yeah, Jazz from the 86 Studio Series line. He looks cool. And the last thing I got is...
Is that the one with 14 instead of 4?
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other thing I got is something that I think we're all going to kind of share. I should really give credit to whoever, to the person who sent it to me, because I would have never known about it if I didn't. So bear with me while I find it here. And it was Robin Hunt. Robin Hunt, our good friend and listener, Robin Hunt, told me about this guy in the UK selling a bunch of comics. And it wasn't just a whole bunch of different comics. They were a bunch of the same comics. And they were all copies of Transformers All Hail Megatron number 12, the Casey Collar variant. And he had 100 of them.
Wow.
And I talked to the guys here, and I said, these are a cool cover. I mean, we can all have one, and we can do a bunch of giveaways with some. It's just a neat Spider-Man, variant or homage. And it's, so we went in and we bought 10 of them. So I've got them here. I can't hold them up. Well, I can hold up the stack, I guess. But, yeah,
That's fine. We trust you.
I don't.
There they all are.
Hey, okay.
So, yeah, they're all here. And
No bags and boards?
no bags and boards.
Oh, man.
So there's a couple that are they got some bends or creases in them. Those go to Jeremy for reasons that he knows about. But no, I'm happy that we got those. So yeah, we'll have a giveaway of those. I mean, they're fun. They're old comics now, but they've got a really cool cover.
They look great.
Yeah, that Casey
When you
color.
said Guido did the interior art,
Yeah, but that cover, man,
can't go wrong.
Frickin' heck, right? Like, look at that cover. That's a really awesome cover. Casey just started at level 10, Like, this was like his second or third cover. Like, I mean, come on.
And he's like, I'm not even going to do this for my full-time job.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, stupid Casey. But yeah. That's it. That's all we got this week.
All right, Jeremy. I don't know how you're going to top a baby.
Well, I also got I got moving boxes.
Yay!
I'm working on that. I also did make it to a comic book store this week, and I got the RI cover of Back to the Future #2. This is the Dan Schoening cover, and thought it looked really cool. And then I also, in my packing, I ran across a couple of things. One thing I knew I had, I just hadn't seen it in a while. The other thing I completely forgot I had. So the thing I knew I had was this Ultimate sticker book. This was, I don't even know when it was released. 2003. That's when it came out. I haven't used it because I don't think stickers should be used. But it's got a lot of like the G1 art and then some stickers, and it's a mix of a G1 art and then there is, you can see in here, some Dreamwave art that is of that era. So, but I thought it's just something neat to have, and I'm going to make sure my kid does not know about it because then the stickers will be used. But it's just, the full page is just all of those, box art images. That's really cool. The thing that I didn't remember getting, and I don't know when, this has a copyright date of 2002. So it might have been at a BotCon, might have been at a TFCon, because it looks like I got it from TF Source. But this is Transmanual, an unofficial guide to collecting Transformers from 1987 through 1990. It's a guide for sorting parts and identifying variations.
That's sweet.
And it's basically just, it describes the characters that came out in that time period and all the pieces that came with it.
Cool.
Awesome.
And it was on a shelf that was completely away from all of my other Transformers books. I'm just like, what the heck is it? Because like I have like the Ultimate Guide that we've talked about many times, and that was all together with my Transformer comics and stuff. This one is a completely different place, and here, I mean, it's got everything. Like here's some
super
of the later
sweet.
toys. Yeah. So it looks like retail price was $30 when it came out. And I bought it for $5.
All right, and we will move on to Epyk.
All right, I have a handful of things, but I want to start with, I got my pre-order of the cute little Optimus Prime Nendoroid. They came out with him and a Bumblebee, from the Bumblebee movie. I did not
What
get
was his name? What's his name?
Oh,
it's
Optimus Prime.
Optimus.
the front says Optimus. Oh, the
But-
front is
Says
right,
Optimus.
but the sides
No,
are
it doesn't.
wrong.
Oh, the front does.
Optimus. Look at that. On both sides. I'll have to see if they're misspelled everywhere.
Yeah, is that licensed?
I mean,
It's
yeah,
got the
because
Bumblebee movie
it's
logo.
with the Bumblebee
Wow.
movie and everything. So it's Optimus Prime. Okay, he's very special. So I'm super excited about that because I love my cute little dudes. But then, boy, did I hit the mother load, okay? Because we got ourselves a Dinobot and Inferno.
Wow.
Found those two boys. Then it didn't stop there because then found Air Razor and
Nice.
Ractonite. Okay, so super excited to find all these. And then to finish that off, Black Raggy and Huffer.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got all
It
the good
was
ones.
like the best day at the local Walmart, actually. Just decided to go there on a whim. And they had 2 sets of everyone there. So I snagged them. And then the
Cool.
last guy that I'm super excited about, because I don't have a figure of him at all, is Grimlock and Wheelie.
Nice.
Very cool.
So super excited to hurry up and finish our living room so we can get our display cases up and going and we can start unpacking these boys.
You don't have any Grimlock at all?
Nope. That is my only Grimlock figure.
That's a
and
good
I'm
one.
Super stoked.
I just recently got him myself, and he's
Very
a very
nice.
fun figure.
Yeah. Super fun. That is my haul.
You did
I
well.
think that can beat a baby.
Come on. I mean,
Babies have very loose joints.
Mine transformed, Daryl.
but I mean, Grimlock's cute. But I mean, look at the cheeks.
All right. I
can't
guess
compete
I
with those
will
soft goods.
end the show here. And I had a birthday last week, so got some gifts. No, I did not get a baby, so yeah. Yeah. It was close.
Nobody
You
cares,
almost
Charles,
had my
baby.
birthday.
You know who else had a birthday?
So my parents are asking me what they could get me, so I sent them an Amazon link, and they clicked on the link.
Please tell me you told them get me Transformers. Please tell me to get my grown adult
Well,
son Transformer
not
toys.
but a book. Volume 3 of the Transformers manga.
That's cool.
Thanks,
Oh,
Mom
nice.
and Dad. Huh?
Have you read Volume 1?
No.
Have you read Volume 1?
Well, got a lot of reading out of me. I got three volumes to get through. But now it's complete. Got all 3. Mom and Dad, thanks. I also, so my sister-in-law is into baking. She does cakes and cupcakes and stuff, and she did something very special for me. And I'll just, I'm going to share that on the screen right now. Hopefully this works.
Oh. Never untested technology. I always love when that happens.
So
very nice.
That is my
That is so
cupcake
cool.
birthday cake. The writing says, if you can't read it, it says 45 and still in his prime. So that was I was impressed. I really appreciated
Clever.
that. It was a complete surprise, and yeah, really good Optimus Prime there. So most of the cupcakes are gone now. So we've eaten a lot of them, but. Glad we got these. We got some pictures, so I can show these. So, and one more thing. So, my wife, she not to be outdone by her sister and my parents. So she contacted
Optimus Prime lingerie.
That's next year. Maybe that's for 50. I don't know. But she contacted an artist and had special art commissioned just for me. And so I'm going to show the art, and I'm going to see if you guys can figure out who the artist is. And maybe I should cover the name here. But here it is.
Well, that's Olivia Ramondelli.
Of course it
Oh,
is.
that's so sweet.
You guys are good. It is Olivia Ramondelli.
Yeah, I might have also seen that on the social media.
Yes. Somebody also gave it away.
Cheater.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did.
Livio's-
Didn't I tweet this out? I did tweet this out.
Yes.
I forgot I had done
Some
that.
doctor.
Yes.
Livio's also
It's
got
very
a,
good, though.
He's got a style that you can pick out from a mile away.
Yeah. Yeah. His, his digital work is so divisive, but I think his sketches are really good.
So you see up
It's a
here,
very good picture,
you see
Charles.
this empty space here. That's where this is going. So next
Nice.
week
There
this will
was
be
a
up
sticker there.
Yeah, the stickers moved. The stickers moved over here. So now there's a space right there. And this is where it's going. So again,
That's awesome, Charles.
You're adding stuff, and then I'm going to be removing stuff.
so again, Trisha comes through with an awesome gift. This is really cool. And she showed
Every
me
year. Every goddamn year.
she showed me the emails she sent with Livio, and she wrote Livio an email. She said, I'm not a fan of Transformers, but I'm a fan of my husband. So could you do something really cool for me for him? And then Livio wrote back and said, I'm a fan of his too. So that just gave me the warm fuzzy. So Livio, thank you so much.
Everybody-
Trisha, I love you.
Everybody's a fan of Charles.
So this was a great surprise and an awesome gift. So, yeah.
On top of being one of the best looking artists out there, Livio's also one of the kindest. He's a stud. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Livio's a stud muffin.
So, yeah. This was awesome. Great birthday. Thank you. And, yeah. That's all I got this week. All
Nice
right.
work.
Doesn't quite beat a baby, but I'll take it. That'll do it for this week's Trips to the Store. Thanks everyone for watching.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and we will finish up the show with feedback. All right, we got an email from Steve Wu. So Steve has been he's been listening for a while. He's been sending in those Toy Hacks entries every month or so, and but he's got a little comment to talk about our discussion of rubber tires on Masterpiece figures. So Steve writes, I think the people that say MP figures don't come with rubber tires anymore, in quotes, have a very selective memory. Masterpiece figures have never been consistent with rubber tires across the line. From the small sample of figures I own, the ones that have rubber tires are MP12 Sideswipe, MP20 Wheeljack, MP44 Optimus Prime. And plastic tires, MP17 Prowl, MP19 Smokescreen, MP25 Trax, MP26 Road Rage, MP28 Hot Rodimus, MP39 Sunstreaker. Looking at the complete Masterpiece list, at best it'd be 50-50 rubber to plastic, but I think the only way it can realistically get that high is if you count every MP10 variant as an individual release. That's that Optimus Prime that has gotten all the colors of the rainbow. Thanks for the great podcast every week. So that is Steve's comment. We already have in the Discord chat, we already have a rebuttal. Quattro in the Discord chat says that guy's kind of wrong. Some of those don't have. Oh, so he's wrong in the other direction. Some of those don't have rubber tires. So
I haven't taken my Sideswipe or Wheeljack down, but also I know none of the newer things do.
None of the newer ones do. No, I'm just quickly bringing up MP09, so the hot rod, and that one does have rubber tires as well. So the first like, I don't know, 11. Let's go with 11. Are the ones where rubber tires existed, and that's MP01, MP02. I mean, and MP4. Now I'm gonna give a big caveat to that because it's the same frickin' figure. It's just Prime, Ultra Magnus. It's just Prime in white, and then Prime with a trailer, and it's the same figure. It's just they did it 3 times. Then you get nothing with tires at all until MP09, Rodimus Convoy or Radimus Prime, and then you get MP10, and that's the end of rubber tires. If you've got MP44, Steve, then that's fantastic. I didn't even realize it had rubber tires, but for the price you paid for it, I'm glad it does, because that's a hefty price tag. But yeah, I'm looking at, like I have MP...
I just looked at Sideswipe and Wheeljack. Both of those are plastic.
They are plastic, yeah. And the MP Ultra Magnus, pretty sure that one is plastic as well. And I mean, if you're comparing trucks to trucks, like, I mean, that one should have rubber, but I don't think it does.
Quattro says it does have rubber tires.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's in robot mode, so I'm just kind of looking behind me. So that's good, I guess. I just closed the damn freaking sheet, the list of figures. Let me bring that up again. Okay, so the Lambor ones don't. The Datsun brothers have plastic. Wheeljack has plastic. Bumblebee has plastic. Then Magnus has rubber. That's good. Trax has plastic. That means, so we've got then, so Ratchet and Ironhide have plastic. We've got Grapple and Inferno. They have plastic. lot of plastic, and that's the big complaint, right? So, yeah, and that's, I mean, and I think everything goes until, so everything's plastic on here except for MP44, and I don't have it, so I can't, kind of comment on it, but it's all plastic, and if MP44 has rubber, then that's fantastic, but the majority of these figures, it's rubber, and that's the big complaint is that, or sorry, plastic, yeah, is that the majority of them are plastic, and the big complaint is that for the price you pay for Masterpiece, you should get rubber tires on your cars. Maybe he's saying it's 50-50 if you include all the ones that, or if you're only counting the ones that should have rubber, but even when you look at it like that, it's really not.
No, I think he's saying it's I think he's agreeing that it's mostly plastic, but it's 50-50 if you count every MP10 variant as an individual figure. Right. So, right. Yeah. So, I mean, I think Steve's general point is true, and everyone's in agreement that it's mostly plastic tires on the Masterpiece figures, even though people are like, why are the new Masterpieces having rubber tires when all the old Masterpieces did, and they didn't. Right. So I think basically Steve's right, and everyone agrees with him that it's unfortunate that most of these figures don't have rubber tires.
I just like we talked about in when we originally discussed this, is that we really don't see rubber tires on anything anymore with regards to Transformers, and that's unfortunate because it really adds that much more. I don't know if it's not really aesthetic value, but it's definitely a level of quality when you start to mess with it in like its alt mode and stuff. It rolls nicer, and everything just seems kind of more valuable, or it's like you've paid more money for something, and it feels much more better quality when it's got rubber tires. And we talked about it at the time. It's not like they're adverse to doing it. It's just, rubber tires are still made. They're still put on a lot of things. I don't know what's stopping them from this. It's got to be a money thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a cost saving measure, because it's probably an additional manufacturing step to have separate pieces made, and then you have to fit them assemble them onto the figures and everything, and whether that's by machine or by hand, it's an additional step. But yeah, I mean, basically the point is it would be nice if all the Masterpiece figures had rubber tires, and if that's a complaint for not for the expense of Masterpiece figures, it's definitely a valid complaint, but it's not a valid to say that all the previous Masterpiece figures did have rubber tires when they didn't. So it's been that way for a while, unfortunately, but that's still a problem. So, but thanks, Steve, for writing in, and thanks for continuing to listen to the podcast. All right, so that's all our feedback, and that'll do it for this episode of Transmissions. Epyk, thanks for joining us again, and tell everyone where they can find your stuff online.
Yeah, you can head on over to epyksuicide.com. That's EPYK suicide.com, and there you'll find all my links.
All right, and as always, we end the show by giving a shout-out to our Masterpiece Donatreons. So thank you again to John 4X Levengood and Dinobot Maximize for continuing to support the show at such a high level. We really appreciate it. And another way to help out the show would be to buy merchandise from our TeePublic store. That is at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And you can check out all our t-shirt merchandise, other stuff. You can get masks as well. So lots of cool stuff there. And if you buy anything from TeePublic through that link, that will help out the show. So transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And that'll do it for this episode of Transmissions. Thanks everyone for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
I tell my kid to shut up. Hold on.
Shut
Slap him
up!
around a little bit.
All right, good, Phil.
You're just a baby, you stupid weak baby.
It's like he doesn't even understand English.
I know. Fucking learn English, boy. Such a disappointment.
All right, don't let Mike put this in the outtakes. 30 years later, your son's going to listen to this.
I'm going to save this and email it to him in 30 years.
Did you drop your baby, Daryl?
No? What?
I heard someone go, right after I said trips to the store. I heard, Was that you, or was that somebody
Might have been
else?
me. I hiccuped.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for making me feel self-conscious.
Happy to help.
What he's here for. My wife did the math on how many comics fit in the short box, and is kind of appalled at how many comics I have. Because when we moved here, I had, I think, a long box and like 3 short boxes, and now I have 11 short boxes. I'm like, you can blame Daryl.